Hi, I'm live. I'm live. Hey, everybody. Everybody. Um, Rock your body. I'm like uploading a video on my iPhone right now. So I'll just like give y'all some time to come in. I don't know if this was a great time to shama. Eh? Ladies. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be doing that for a second and waiting. What was I gonna call this video? Oh yeah. Okay. Which I'm gonna be uploading for noon tomorrow. Um up in 2022. I'll do all this later. Upload video. Okay. Yeah, so hi. This is the last Kiara Dice live for 2021. Yeah, 2021, which has been, let me get in there. Let me get a tissue. Oh, which has definitely been an interesting year. I mean, like, it just doesn't, it just never ends. Like, it never ends. I think I had a pretty good year overall. I had a really great year. Um, let's see. What did I do this year? So I remember I celebrated New Year's Eve 2021 in Las Vegas with my cousin. We got freaking hoisted. We were like, no, girl, we're not doing that no more. We had wine and we had Patron. Like, I don't drink hard liquor very often. So I know that it really ruined me. And we would now from now we call him we don't call it Patron anymore. We call it Pat Ron. Pat and Ron. We ain't messing with no Pat and Ron no more. Pat and Ron, no thank you. So that's how I spent my New Year's. And then I went to school, even though school was still like, USF. It was what's that word? Remote. What a waste. Can you believe I was like the only person in my major? Hey, Michaela Rose. I was the only person in my major. There was like one class that I had. It was just me and the teacher. Legal writing and whatever, research and writing. And she was cool. She was cool. I liked her, but I didn't like her as a teacher. I mean, I did like her as a teacher. It's one of those teachers who's like very strict and very serious. So that's why you hate them because they really care and they really have expectations and they really like are strict. But like as a person, she was like super cool. And she knew that I was just kind of like, I'm just trying to like pass. It's just me here. Like we it's just you and me. Like we don't need to have your curriculum. Like, can we focus this a little bit more? Chariot Man Gaming. What's up, Kiara Dice? Yes. Um, yeah, so what, like I was doing school, only me in my major, but that's good. It's all good. I graduated. I remember like, do y'all remember this live stream I did? I was so serious about quitting school. I just hated it. I really did. And it's just I had the expectation that doing school in America and in my own language, maybe that's why. Maybe that'll help me. Maybe that's what I need. But turns out it was just as crap as it was in China. It's school. It's school in general that I don't like. It's not anything else. So yeah, I was really hell bent on quitting. Like I was going through like the looking up, okay, well what's next option? Thankfully I didn't quit and I followed through, wrote my little stank thesis that was so I don't even know how I wrote it. Like, it was literally supposed to be, like, persuasive writing, you're supposed to, like, argue a case. School's not easy, I hear you on that. It would make you wanna quit but winners always find a way. Oh, that's so nice. Exactly. So I thankfully, because I already paid for it, you know. Um, yeah, I was supposed to have like a persuasive whatever. And so my cop out thesis stuff is like the same subject that I did in China, which was like it's always comparing. Like if I have to write an essay about something, it's like China versus America. How do they like how the compare and contrast? That's always what I do. Always. So I did a I don't even know what the thesis was called, like compare contrast China's IP system versus the United States IP system, something like that. So you're supposed to like argue things, right? Argue things. I'm telling you, the first 20 pages was me like just regurgitating in my own words, so it was not any copyright or plagiarism, the stuff like, oh, this is China's uh trademark system. This is China's patent system. This is America's patent system. And you got I did 19 pages of that because it's supposed to be 20 pages minimum. On the 20th page, on the 20th, I had a paragraph. Who knows what it said? I don't know. I was like, oh yeah, so cool. I mean, I'm arguing that everybody's gonna be happy or everyone's gonna blow each other up and hate each other. Like I don't know what I it passed. Like boom, I got my degree. Boom, boom, boom. I'm happy with it. The professor probably thought it was crap because it was, but it got my piece of paper. And then I cried about not wanting. Oh, let me get a message. Hold on. Kyla, judging. What? Why'd someone say they're judging? What did I post? Oh, she's judging because I was watching Emily in Paris. You know, I really like this season actually. Anyways, what was I saying? So I actually cried because I really didn't want to go to the graduation. Mind you, I would have loved to go to the graduation if it weren't in person. It was through Zoom. It was through Zoom. Who cares? And so the morning of the LLM, which is me and one other girl. She was in the other LLM major, which was like mine was intellectual property and technology law. Hers was something international commercial transactions, something like that. It was just the two of us. Actually, supposed to be three. And then I called the counselor the morning of, like I was like, I can't make it to the Zoom meeting. Like, and I was talking to my cousin Bree, the one who lives in Vegas, crying, and she was like, "Well, you don't go if you don't do it if you don't want to. If you really don't want to." And I called the lady. She was like, "I get why can't you go?" And I was like, "I have an emergency." And she said, "Okay, I guess it's just gonna be the one girl because the one guy also can't make it." So what a joke! What a joke! What a joke! What a joke! Anyway, so that was what June, July, May, June. Then what happened? June, I went to Vegas for 2 weeks to stay with my cousin. That was fun. I love Vegas. I really like Vegas a lot. It's really hot there, but it's hot everywhere. You know, like I don't really mind the heat. You just dress appropriately. Um, and then bro, I need to get me a freaking shotgun. Hold on, let me look at the window real quick. Hold it, please. What is wrong? Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Whatever. 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 Okay. I really like Vegas. That's a place where I think I can buy property. Y'all heard that? I don't even know what that was. I couldn't even see anybody. The ghetto. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, Vegas is cool. I like Vegas. I'm going actually in a couple weeks just for a weekend. Um, I'm just trying to like go over my year. I'm trying to think like what else happened. Went to Vegas for 2 weeks. Um, hmm. When I got to Vegas, I booked my stuff for Greece, uh, which I went to in August. I had a great time in Greece. You know, I've I think that I'm starting to realize that one thing leads to another, right? And I'm starting to like focus more on being gracious and having more gratitude instead of being like, oh my God, I don't have this, or oh, this is like I'm on a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Like I started teaching Chinese this year. That's fun. I have two clients. And if anyone wants to learn Chinese, do point them in my direction. I do this. Me. Um, what else? Greece was cool. So when I went to Greece, it was crazy because I was supposed to meet one of my best friends out there, right? So one of my best friends, Jennifer, love her to death. And that's kind of how I went to Greece because she and I were on the phone and she was like, "Oh, I'm spending the summer in Germany and we're gonna go to Greece." And I was like, "Greece? I've always wanted to go to Greece. Let me Google how much that costs, and we could probably meet there." And it was supposed to be her with her family. That's why. So us not meeting up was not that deep, just because, like, in hindsight. Like, anyway, so I Googled it, like, and usually when I book flights, because people ask me like, "How do you find these cheap ass flights?" Google flights. Google flights. So the same time she was going, it was like, I think like $400 round trip, 400 and something. I mean, like, you got to add on the taxes, and it's like if you don't read the fine print, sometimes you got to pay extra for like the bags and stuff like that. But like, luckily with this, what airline did I, Air Canada? I didn't have to pay extra for the bags, but this freaking London trip, I did. So they gonna get you on the front end or on the back end. They gonna get you, okay? So anyway, when I got to Greece, I spent the first. I was supposed to be there for 2 weeks, and my friend Jennifer was there with her family in Crete for 1 week. So I was gonna do my own thing the first week, and then go to Crete and do my thing with them. I went to what I did: Mykonos, Athens. I don't remember. I think I did Athens a couple days. I went to like I did some like day cruise, which was pretty cool, but I wouldn't recommend. But like it was really pretty, but it was just kind of like meh. Like the quality of the food was not good in my life. But the day cruise that I went to in Mykonos was awesome. Like, oh my god, I could not I recommend it more. Then blah 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 blah. I don't remember. The day before, the day of, because I remember the thing is like when I was in Greece, I was so jet lagged and I had no sleep. You know how they have that TikTok? Bus, another bus, plane, club, no sleep. That was me. No sleep at all. And I was so exhausted. And I was supposed to take a 10-hour ferry from Athens to Crete. Looking back, why didn't I just fly? But whatever. It was really cheap and it was going to be an experience. It was going to be overnight. Like, you just sit there and use the Wi Fi, like I'm going to be doing anyway. Um, and I was gonna be arriving to Crete in the morning, right? Like leaving that night. So the morning before I was leaving Athens, she was like, "Hold on, I'm like fighting with my sister about you coming." She's all blah 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 about coronavirus, and because the sister was getting married in Germany, and was all, if you test positive, you can't enter back into Germany. You have to quarantine. What's going to impede with the wedding if the brother was he's not vaccinated? So oh my god, Janet and like they have a total sibling rivalry. I mean, I'm sure it's all love there, but like she has told me multiple times that her sister has like is jealous of her. Like, let's just say it. So the morning of, I'm okay, it's like 9 in the morning. I'm supposed to be leaving at like 10 p.m. to get on that ferry and arriving the following day, 9 in the morning. And she's like, "Oh my God, my friend, my sister is just like having his she's talking about like, why does Jennifer get to have a friend coming even though she's there with her fiance?" I'm like, "Well, why would she make an issue about it now? Like, oh, if we like, oh, she if she wants to come, she'll have to get a hotel and she'll have to this and that. And I was like, okay. So I was like looking up because I don't mind like I like I'm someone who I'll do my own thing. I just want to see my friend. That's it. I don't need to see none of y'all motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like I don't really like whatever. It's not even that deep to me. But when I went looking up online for like hostels in Crete, I was like, I'm not paying for that. You know, I can't find anything that's within my budget. If I could find like um like but anyway, so even and then like it was she kind of took a while to text me back. It was like around 1 p.m. and I was kind of like, fuck, well, what do I do? I'm not gonna go. Like I'm not gonna deal with this, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just make other plans. I'm just gonna make other plans. So I ended up saying, like, okay, I went downstairs to the receptionist. Like I think I told you guys about the hostel I was staying at, and the receptionist was like, that was my freaking dude, man. He was so awesome. I would be like, tell me what to do today. I don't know. So I went there. I was like, he's like, I thought you were leaving to go see your friend in Crete. I was like, I was, but like she's having a whole COVID. Her sister's having a whole COVID hissy fit, and I can't be bothered, you know. And I called my friend from Bulgaria, Vessi. Y'all know Vessi. If you guys watch my old school videos, y'all know Vessi. and, and Vessi, where is she at the time? She's either in Greece, no, she's either in Bulgaria or she was in Indonesia, headed to Bulgaria, which is like Greece's neighbor. So she felt like as a Baltic person, no, not a Baltic, Balkans, as a Balkan person, she has to make sure I'm okay. She's like, "You I'm kind of representing my region here." So she's like, "How about you don't go to Crete? Like you know what I mean? Like you gotta make it." So I was like, okay, because I'm like, girl, I don't know what to do. So I went downstairs to my reception homie and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just extend my time here and just pay for like another week, you know. I'm gonna just pay for another because it was like $30 a night, which was a steal, you know, and it was like a perfectly nice room with a cute little bathroom and a cute little area. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like keep this as my as my base. And then that night, right, literally, I feel like it was like an hour before I was supposed to leave for the ferry because I canceled my ferry ticket and I got my fucking money back, which was like I don't know, 15 euro. I got my 15 euro back, and then the sister, which I've never spoken to her. I don't know her. DMs me on Instagram. I think I should read you guys a DM. I thought it was freaking funny. I was laughing because like it would be different if I was like relying on staying with them or something like that. But for me, it was just like, oh yeah, I'll go to Crete and we can, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna have to like go through this a little bit, but I thought it was flipping comedy. Uh-oh, Instagram. Who is this? You're in London now for how long? Till Christmas Day. Who is this? Oh, nice. Anything? No plans. Okay, I don't know. Let me find it, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. It was a few months ago. Okay. Huh. Da, 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 da. Clearly I get I have a lot of DMs. Jeez. Okay, it should be coming soon. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so I'm telling you, look, okay, I don't think you guys can see that. See, like she got paragraphs. Like so she said, "Hello, Kiera. Here is Jennifer's sister. She was and is really sad about you not coming. I really hate seeing her like this because I know she was very excited to see you. I wanted to explain to you a bit what happened. My boyfriend tends to be quite worried about COVID. And here's my thing. You guys are getting married in a week or two, right? Already set up in Germany. In Germany, her husband, her well now husband, her fiance is German, and they live in Germany together. And Jennifer and her little brother were in Germany for the summer to do the wedding and everything like that. And then the whole family, mom, dad, brother, Jennifer, sister, fiance, took a trip to Greece a week or so before their wedding. But my whole thing is, if you're so like worried about COVID. Why take a vacation? Because, oh my God, if we test positive on our way back, then we'll have to quarantine and my whole wedding will be ruined. Okay, that's valid. But then why take the vacation? Okay, I don't know. Whatever. So my boyfriend tends to be quite worried about COVID, especially because my brother is not vaccinated. And sadly, my mom didn't give him a heads up you would be coming, and he got all nervous. And I end up doing Arab phone between the two. And I see now it was not the best, and we should have all talked this through together. I apologies for this. He is a party pooper. Well, she put party popper, but it's okay. I know what she means. For me at times too. I spoke to him and he spoke with my sister. It's all good now. And I wanted to tell you that I would be happy 8-4, 8F, I don't know. You come see Jennifer. Nothing would make her happier right now. It might be too late for tomorrow's ferry, but if you can get the one from tomorrow, maybe, and come here for the rest of her stay, it would be a very nice surprise for her. I truly apologize if this whole miscommunication made you and her sad, and I hope it's not too late to fix it. I hope you can think about it and hopefully come here. I can send you the address if you decide to take the ferry for today or tomorrow. I know what it's like to be far away from a good friend. You really don't bother. I'm so sorry if we made you feel this way. I said thanks for the explanation and apology. And I totally understand. Coronavirus is very stressful. I know it's nothing personal. I ended up making other plans for the next few days, but we can definitely arrange something. Maybe Santorini Thursday or Friday, a neutral spot. Blah 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 blah. They were like, I don't know. It was all good, but like going back and forth. She was like, "Oh, I'm trying to help see if they can have a if because like Santorini is closer to Crete than Athens is. So I was like, why don't we just meet in Santorini? But the thing with Jennifer, which I agree with, she doesn't have her own money. Like she's basically a family girl. So that's kind of like why I was like, yeah, this obviously is not the trip. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a family trip for you. And like we had talked about this for weeks. And then she was like, I don't know why my fucking sister does this the day of. Like she has known about this plan for like at least a month, at least 2 months, like for a long time. She's not blindsided by anything. She just wants to be angry with me and start a da da da. I'm like, girl, I don't mean about that. I ain't coming. I ain't coming. If you can come see me in Santorini, because you know how I am. Like I like right after that, I got my little credit for the ferry, and then I booked another ferry to Santorini, and I stayed there for like was it 2 nights? And I said, okay, well I'll be in Santorini for 2 nights. If you can come to Santorini from Crete, then it's all good. I already got the hotel room. Blah 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 blah. And anyway, so eventually, I just kind of was like, it doesn't matter. And then I went, and then I'm from Santorini. I went to Mykonos, and I was like, okay, we can go meet at Mykonos. Like, if you want to come through, but I get it. Like it's expensive, and you're using your parents' money, and your parents don't make that much money. It's a thing. So I kind of was like, yeah, let's just cut it. Yeah, let's cut it. It's all good. And so when we talked about it, like a couple weeks later, she was like, thank God you didn't come to Crete. She's like, I broke a flipping toe. And then, mind you, I broke a freaking toe in Greece too. Like, what is it about Greece and toes? We both broke a toe. I broke my my middle finger, middle toe, and she broke her little pinky toe. I'm like, what? Did we break it at the same time? Are we really that like in sync? Maybe. Anyways, a couple weeks later when we were talking about it, she was like, you know what? A couple days or so after we got back from back to Germany from Greece, we all got sick. And she's like, I'm so happy you didn't come because I know for a fact she would have been like, it's because Jennifer had to have her friend come. And that's why we're all sick. And now, oh my God, we're all sick. And it's because Jennifer just had to have a friend come. Like, and I was like, yeah, yeah. I said, once I felt the pushback, that's when I was like, I think I'm like in due time. We'll be making our own money and jet setting the world in due time. I just don't think it's this one, sis. So I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. So, so when I left Mykonos and came back to Greece, not Greece, gosh, came back to Athens, I stayed in another hostel that was like with the rooftop bar and like I had a freaking blast. Oh my God, like it was so fun. I met my little sister. I met my little sister Jade. Let me show you guys a picture of her. She's so cute. She's from Canada. She's living in Mexico currently. I'm gonna go to Mexico to see her in March, but I haven't arranged any of it yet because Omarion. Tired of Omarion. Oh my gosh, look at, doesn't she look like she could be my sister? Like I I mean I know we're just both black. Like that's probably the only way we look alike, but she's totally like my little baby sister. I don't know how old she is. I think she's 23. She's 23, 24. So like I'm a big sister. Um what else was I gonna say? Oh, you said, oh, oh that's crazy. Yeah. So okay, at the rooftop bar, the first night, that's where I met Jade. That's where I met this guy that I'm about to tell y'all about. Um so I got like really because the wine was only like 4 euro, 4 euro a glass. Okay, like I'm drinking. And not only that, but my room is like right there. It's right there. The rooftop was on the eighth floor. I was on the seventh. So I ain't gonna have no problem getting home, even though like somehow I broke my toe. Oh, I don't know what happened, but I drank a lot of wine. Anyway, so I met this guy and I kind of thought he was like he wasn't my type, but he kind of had a swagger about him. I liked how he was dressed. He was bald. He was kind of like a bulky dude. And I was kind of like, okay, if he shot his shot, then I let him shoot a shot. Anyway, we talked for like a long time, like maybe like well over an hour. And I was telling him all about the Kiara Dice brand or what I wanted to become and telling him all about living in China and blah 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 blah. And he was like, yo, that stuff sounds fucking amazing. Like I've never heard any shit like this. Like this is absolutely, maybe he was just gassing me up, but I don't think so because he never flirted with me or he never like tried me. He never like put his hand on my knees or anything like that. So I would think he was being genuine. Anyways, so uh talked to him for a couple hours. Fast forward. Oh. This is what he said. This is what he said. And he was from London, right? And he was like, "Okay, let me get this straight. You're this whole world traveler, but you've never been to London?" And I was like, "Mm, really? I've never thought about it. Like, I've never thought about going to London or the UK. Like it's never been on my list of things to do. Never been on the bucket list or anything like that." And he was like, "You got to go to London." He said it's totally your vibe. He's like, you like to dress up, you like to couch, like to drink you some wine, you got to go to London. Like that's, you take me as a chick who would do well in London. And then the next day when Jade and I were hanging out, because she from Canada, I don't remember where. Girl, I don't where is she from in Canada? She's not from Toronto. Is there a place called Victoria? Ottawa. Maybe she's from Ottawa. Sure. Doesn't matter. You looked like you were living your best life in London. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get to London. We're gonna get to London. We're gonna get there. We're like going through the whole year. We're going through the year. So I asked, okay, so Jade, I think she kind of recently started traveling, right? So she uh in 2020 moved to like Mexico and went to Colombia, but she's kind of like I don't know how to explain her. She's like this really beautiful model-esque girl, but she's so down to earth and she's kind of like a give me an adjective because I don't want to use the wrong word. I mean, like she's like the type of chick who's gonna rough it, and but you would think she's someone who is like top tier, like 5-star restaurant. Like she's like, no man, I'm gonna go there and on the mule. I don't give a fuck. Like we can stay in a box. Like, like she so anyway, she flew. So I think Greece was her first time in Europe. And she flew via like Canada. She went from Canada, wherever in Canada, to London, and she stayed overnight on a layover. And when I told her, I'm like, yo, this guy was talking about going to London. And she was like, girl, yes. Girl, I was there for 1 day. I was there for 1 day. And yes, bougie brawler. She a bougie brawler. That's what she is. Like, she's a bougie brawler. Like, I'm telling you, she's hardcore. She's low key hardcore core than me. Because now I'm like way more bougie than I used to be. Like, I like the bouge just gets more and more as you get older. But like, so she was like, yes, he's right. London, London, London. So um when I think I was like there at that rooftop bar, like, or that hostel for like 3 or 4 nights. So one on my last day there, or the something like that, or the guy's last night there, we talked again, and I was kind of like expecting for him to like something, make a move. He didn't. We like, and then the next day we had a mutual friend, and me, him, and Jade went out to lunch, and he asked me. He said, "Well, what happened with you and what's his name?" I said, "Nothing happened." He said, "Well, he was talking about you all night, the whole night talking about you, and I left y'all alone, and he didn't do nothing." I was like, "Nope, he didn't ask for my contact information. He did nothing. He just said, 'All right, good night, peace,' and flew, and then flew his butt back to London." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know." So there's that. So fast forward to like the day after I get home from Greece, I just Googled, I'm telling y'all better use Google Flights, okay? Google Flights, that's your first move. Like if you have a specific place you want to go, Google that. So I just Googled, flights from San Francisco to London, $350. I'm not kidding. It was $350. And it was from like you can click on the prices, when you go on it. You'll see the interface when you use Google Flights. Um so I was like, that's cheap. That's cheap. And I've just been racking up credit card debt, which is fine. Like, who cares? Like, you think I care about like loan officers and stuff like that? Please, whatever. And then they caught on. I don't know which trip you had the most crazy experiences, Greece or London. LOL. Um, I hmm, hmm, We're gonna get on London. I'm gonna let you judge that. So I had Googled the flight. It was like $350 from like November something, like late November. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll stay a month. Like that's should I book that? I'm asking myself, should I book that? I'm like, and my conscience is like, bitch, yeah, you should. What the fuck is you got the money? Well, I don't have the money. I got the credit card because okay, listen, before I was like, okay, I made a video that I'm uploading tomorrow about like how to get your life, and I'm gonna make another video about like the finances of traveling or how I finesse, which might not work for everybody, but it's worked for me thus far. I was like, I got my credit up, my credit score, so I was able to like get all these different credit cards and like get approved for like large amounts of money. And I mean, like they caught on to my freaking trick because last time I tried, like when I came back from Greece, I tried to apply for another one, and they were like, "Hot, no, no, sis, we're no." I'm like, okay, I guess this is my last card. So now I gotta kind of like find an income and figure stuff out. But it doesn't matter. I was able to finesse 2 international trips out of one credit card that was like a $8,000 credit limit. So like, yeah. So I had one card from Bank of America that had like a 7,000 credit limit. One card from Chase, no, 2 cards from Chase. One was 7,000 something, one was 8,000 something. Now I got my last card, which is which is Delta. They only gave me $1,700. What am I supposed to do that with that? What am I supposed to do with that, Delta? American Express? What am I supposed to do with that? But that's fine. That's fine. I gotta find a job. I get it. I get it. I get it. I must find me a job. So I booked the flight, a $350 flight, and then I was like, oh, okay. I think I'll stay in an Airbnb, and they have discounts if you stay for a month, right? So I found me an Airbnb, South London, Brixton, booked it. Um, then I was saying to myself, I was like, you know what? London is supposed to be like my reemergence, it's supposed to be like the rebirth of you know, you know what I mean? Because we've all been like in. I haven't been dating. I've been going to school and school, not school, like remote school. Because if we were going to school, I was supposed to be dating and stuff like that and still meeting the men's. Um, so then what happened? Okay. I was like, okay, which dating app should I get on? I hate Tinder, it's ghetto. Hate Bumble. I don't like sending the first message. I don't like that at all. Y'all can keep that. Hinge is okay. So I downloaded Hinge and I set my location in London, right? And in South London in Brixton. And guess what? The first message I get was from the guy that I met in Greece who did not get my contact information. So he messaged me and he was like, and I was not expecting that. Like we did not talk about dating apps or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like it was serendipitous. I was like, he said to me, "Hey stranger." And I said, "Oh, hey, I took your advice and I'm coming to London." This was in September. Coming in November. He's like, "Oh, awesome. Where are you staying? Do 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 do. We should get a drink when you come here." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "I'm staying in Brixton." He was like, "Oh, it's an awesome place to stay. I stayed here." I don't remember where he said. Um, and I met another guy through what's it called? Hinge at that time. Another Londoner. And he had asked me, the other guy, um, for my WhatsApp. So we had exchanged WhatsApp and we talked on the phone once. And then he never messaged me or talked to me again. And I was like, okay, I guess he ghosted me. So you guys may know how I am with dating apps. I get very impatient. I get very annoyed. I get very bored with it. So I'm like, I can have them for short periods of time, like maybe like a week. And then I'm like, I'm bored. I want to delete this shit. Like, fuck this. I don't like it anymore. So I messaged Greece guy, like, hey, why don't you add me on WhatsApp? Here's my number. And I gave it like 2 or 3 days, right? He didn't respond. I didn't get no ad on my WhatsApp. I was like, okay, well, I really want to delete this shit. So I guess it's not meant to be. I guess it ain't meant to be. So there's that. I guess he served his purpose. His purpose was just to get me to go to London. And then maybe a week or so before I had was supposed to leave, bachelor number 2 from Hinge had sprout himself out and said like, "Oh yeah, I was in Dubai." And British people, they don't say vacation. They say holiday. I was in Dubai on holiday. Da, 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 I just got back, blah blah blah. And did you make it here yet? Like I said, "Oh yeah, I leave I don't know. I'll be there on da da da." I thought it was really sweet when I landed. He messaged me like, "Oh, did you make it safely? How is your place?" And then okay, so before we get to this, I'm gonna have to rewind a little bit. So I'm in a travel group on Facebook. I love me some Facebook groups. I don't know about y'all, love them. And it's like called Madness Travel, whatever. Um, and they had a thread on there, like uh, what was the thread? The thread was like, "Oh, what's a place that you would never go back to?" or something like that. And I commented on there, Cuba. Freaking Cuba. I'll tell you guys like in the future, like why I would ever go back to Cuba. I don't want to get like tie up my stories. But like so I put Cuba in there and then you you get there was so many responses. I think there was like hundreds and hundreds of comments. So and people listed all sorts of places. So pretty much everyone has their own experience in a certain place, right? Everyone's experience is different. So I never take someone else's experience to be what I will experience, right? So everyone who posted like London in there, I'd be like, why are you in London? And one girl, she responded like, oh, because it's expensive, the weather sucks, and it's my hometown, so I'm allowed to say that, right? And so I private messaged her. I was like, "Hey, are you in London? Because I'm gonna be there in a couple weeks," and blah blah blah. And she was like, "So what are you looking for exactly?" "Oh, I just don't know anyone." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So she's like, "No, I don't live in London anymore. I live in wherever, but I can uh connect you with some people." So she put out a post and tagged all these people and was like, "Hey, this girl's gonna be in London." And so I made like one friend through that. Or no, it was like more people, but like one girl that I had corresponded with that whole time, and who also lives in Brixton. And so the night after I got to London, she came and picked me up from my place, and we went to that open mic, right? And that was super fun. Oh my god, that was so much fun. And so when I got oh, and she also had another friend with her. So it was like me, girl I met online, and then her friend who also lived in Brixton, who also became my friend, right? So the three of us went to that open mic, and it was for singing. But when I walked in, I looked around. I was like, "Oh, this reminds me of Mrs. Maisel." And she's like, and the girl who was the friend, I think I should just say her name because I'm cool with her. And I made a video with her that I'm gonna upload soon. Her name is Zoe, and she was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's a show on Amazon Prime. You should totally watch it. It's like one of my favorite shows ever." Da, 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 da." Yeah, keep that in mind. So I think that every day that I was in London for the first week, I just went out every night, like every night. I mean, I slept all day. I saw no sunshine. And then I remember Zoe invited me to something on Friday. Oh, no, 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 no. Rewind, rewind, rewind. So I got on Monday night. The we'll call him London Bay. That's what I've been calling him. London Bay. London Bay texted me, "Did you make it? How is everything? Blah 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 blah." Okay, now that's the oh, I need to get me some back support. Um, so then what happened? What happened? Okay, Thursday was my birthday, right? December 2nd. And um my friend Cassandra, the girl who I met, da da da, it was Cassandra and Zoe were the two girls that I was like hanging out with the most. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you out tonight." Da 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 da. Cool. So mind you, mind you, Londoners don't give an F about COVID. They don't care. They don't care at all. Wow. Because I'm like, if you come here to San Francisco, you have to show your vaccine card and ID to do anything. Not anything, but like if you want anything that's not essential, indoor dining, going to a bar, going to like, yeah, out there, ain't nobody cares about any of it. Nobody cares. I'm telling you, nobody. So anyway, on the day of my birthday, oh, I'm missing detail. Okay, so Tuesday night went to the open mic, had a blast. Wednesday night went speed dating, had a blast. That was so much fun. Somewhere in like Oxford Circus in central London. Same thing in my city as well. It's hideous. I mean, like, I'm like, somewhere, I don't know. I don't know what to think about. I'm like, man, I'm vaccinated. Okay, here's my card. Whatever. Like, I don't. But okay. So Wednesday night went speed dating. That was fun. I didn't make any love connections, but like, oh, I remember. Okay, so before I went speed dating, because this was before I had taken the metro or the tube in London, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to be on the tube like that because, like y'all know, like out here in San Francisco, I don't be on that public transportation. I'm not doing it. But in Shanghai, like, yes. So I was like, which one is it? Is it gonna be like sketchy and grotesque like San Francisco, or is it gonna be, like, really good and really convenient like Shanghai? Turns out it's very good and very convenient like Shanghai, but I didn't know that at the time. So I was like, "Oh, I think I'll just take an Uber," and, like, it was rush hour. Uber's really trifling in London. And my host was like, "Why don't you just take the" oh, and I was like, "Oh, I wanna wear heels." And he was like, "Why don't you just take the bus right here to the metro station, and then take the metro," because it was, like, on the same line that I was on, the Victoria line. And I was like, "Okay." So I get on the bus, and it's always those double-decker buses, which are so cute. They're so cute. We love them. We love them. I get on the bus, and I made a TikTok of this yesterday of, the black lady that I met on the bus because I asked the driver, I was like, "Does this go to Brixton Station?" Which it does. It's like 2 blocks away. It's like 2 blocks away or 4 or 5, like close. And the woman is like, "Oh, yes, dear, it goes there. Like, may I ask you where's your where's your accent from? You know, your beautiful accent." I was like, "Oh, I'm from San Francisco." She's like, "Oh, beautiful. Well, wait, like, how have you been? How have you like? How long have you been here?" I was like, "I got here like the day before yesterday. I've been here 2 days." "Oh, and where are you going?" I was like, "I'm going speed dating. I came here to find love." And she was like, "Oh, bless you. I'll take you to the metro. I'll walk with you." It was so cute. Oh my god. So she walked me across the street after the bus got off. And she's like, "Please, I work at the Sainsbury." Sainsbury is like a grocery store. There was a Sainsbury right by where I live, like up the block. She's like, "I work at the Sainsbury up the street. Like, come, I work from this time to that time." I was like, "All right, I'll come see you tomorrow. I'll come see you tomorrow." "Okay, let me know all about the speed dating." Oh, bless. Oh, it was like, it was so sweet. It makes me want to cry thinking about it. So I went to the speed dating, found the place. Fun. It was so fun. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Like, this is why I like being in person because I think on apps, I'm just so picky and I'm just like, "Oh no, he's 5'4". Mm-mm. But I'm not trying to date no one who's 5'5". You know what I mean? Like, I like a tall man. Like, I mean, a tall man. I'm sorry, I can't. Anyways, but like when when you're just talking to people and you're just like, you get people's full package, you get people's full thing, and you might give someone a chance that you wouldn't have given a chance online because of some like arbitrary rule that you have. Like for me, if I see your height is below 5'10", I'm kind of like, no, no, no. But I've always said like to the universe, I'm like, universe, I'm not meeting the shawty of my dreams in on the dating app. Like it has to be in person. So you are gonna have to just deal with my rule. Anyways, met some cool guys. That was about it. I don't think I'm like kept in touch with any of them. So the next day was oh, I've been talking a long time. It's already been 47 minutes. Whatever. It's a party. It's like the last live of the year. um oh, I should get some wine. I have like I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, um, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So the next day was my birthday, right? And I kept my promise. I was like, okay, I'm like got dressed and I was gonna go to the Sainsbury to see the lady to give her my update. And I did. Oh, so London Bay called me. Mind you, he does not know it's my birthday. Sis, you need yourself a Bruno Mars. It's like him and Miguel are probably the two shorties that could get it. That's it. Like the shouty list is very shout. No pun intended. Um, so London Bay calls me and I'm like, "Oh, do you know what day it is?" He's like, "It's Thursday." And I'm like, "Yes, but do you know what other day it is?" He's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "It's my birthday." He guesses, is it it's your birthday? I was like, "Yes, it's my birthday." And he was like, "Are you serious? It's my birthday too." I was like, I thought he was joking. I thought he was joking. I totally thought he was pulling my leg, doing some British crap. And anyway, like I kind of was like, he says, "Okay, well, let's see what you're doing tomorrow and if you want to meet up and blah 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 blah." So my birthday, we just had dinner. Not me and Lyndon Bay, me and Cassandra. And it was like nice. We had that we went to that like Turkish place. with that Marilyn Monroe cocktail. Oh, have you ever seen a cocktail like that? Like, let me show you guys. It was so me. Excuse me. We didn't even go with like that intention. I don't think she knew about that cocktail, but it was totally a cocktail made for me. Okay, let's see. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, see? Oh, see the reflection. It's like a dress, but it's a cup. The glass, I mean. Yeah, anyway. What happened after that? So just had a like talking and stuff for my birthday. Just chill. Like I'm chill. I'm chilling. And then the next day, I went to some like Friday night, I went to like this market in Hackney, which was like really nice. It was like all these black owned businesses and all the good stuff and all that stuff. And then London Bay met me there. And London Bay was like, is it really your birthday? I'm like, yeah, yesterday was really my birthday. And then he was like, oh, yeah, yesterday really was mine too. I was like, oh, I thought you were kidding. So me and London Bay have the same birthday. And then we walked around and went back to his place. And that's where like we watched that show. I showed you guys that show. The Naked Show. I was so It was called, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Naked Attraction UK show. They show things on there, like the whole full frontal and like basically like they're in the pods, these pods, and like you start seeing like from their from their feet up, each round you change like so it starts and it's like their genitalia down, like, and then the person comes around and be like, "Ooh, she's got a nice clitoris. I like how her or I like how her lips." And then it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna eliminate this one 'cause I don't like how she's got." Then you eliminate her, and then she comes out. Then you see her face, and then they move up the body each round, and then the person who's in it, who's the chooser, he ends up coming. End up coming out naked, and then it shows them going on a date fully clothed, and what? Yeah, them fully clothed, and then they do an update of, like, that show I can't. TV here in Britain is wild. I was I was like, "You would never see that in America. You never." Like, they don't show boobies and booties, no, but, like, it was I was like this, watching, I said, "Oh." Anyway, anyway, London Bay, um then what happened? Okay, so girl that I know who I went to USF with, same class kind of thing. She has a cousin who lives in London and was like, "Hey, I got a cousin who lives in London. If you want to connect, cool." Cousin connected with a cousin. She was like, "Do you want to go to a Tory Lanez concert with me?" And I'm like, "I don't know any of his music. I just know he shot Megan the Stallion. But sure, I'll go. It's in Brixton." I'm like, "Okay, sure, let's go." That was the weirdest night of my life. Oh, I didn't even like I still don't know any of his music. Apparently Chris Brown was there too. I don't know. I don't care about like it was like a what is this? Concert of women beaters, women shooters? Like what? Anyways, when I was there, I was just flirting and talking and trying to get to know some minions and stuff like that. And then I got really drunk. And so the girl who I was with, she was like, "I don't care about anything else. I'm making my way to the front." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was trying to make my way to the front during the concert because I was like, "Listen, people, I don't give a fuck about the concert. I'm just trying to find my friend." And I'm like pushing away. You guys know I'm aggressive, especially like when I'm drinking. And somehow I got into a fight. Some guy was trying to fight me, and I was like, and you guys know how I am. I was over here like, "What you gonna do?" Freaking instigate. And everyone around me was like, was getting pissed off at me. Like it was about to be an angry mob out here. Then I think a fight broke out. Either it was it with me? It might have been. I don't remember. Whatever. The security guard, because the guy started going buck wild, right? You know, he did not put his hands on me because if he did, he would not be. I would be in jail up in China, not in China, up in the UK. Because okay, I don't play that. I don't play that. Trust me. I'm a scrappy one. I'm a scrappy one. If there ever was. I mean, I know I'm cute. I know I'm cute, but you put your hands on me, you'll see. So then, the this like security guards go and get him, right? Apprehend him. And then the people they were like, nah, it wasn't him, it was her. And then they come and get me and put me out. And I had to like charm my way back in. I was like, no, they're like, she's drunk. I'm like, I'm not drunk. What you mean drunk? Girl. We all I was like, yo, and so whatever. I was able to finesse my way back in. It was fine. I was like, give me my damn money back. Anyways, got myself back in, got myself another drink, waited for the concert to be over. I don't remember any of the music, whatever. And then what happened after that? Hmm. We were supposed to go to the after party that the girl was supposed to get us into. Now here's my thing. I'm not one for the freaking the groupie brigade, okay? I don't give a fuck about Chris Brown. I don't give a fuck about Drake. I don't give a fuck about Tory Lanez. I don't give a fuck about fill in fucking ghetto ass rapper or like groupies. I don't give a fuck about any of that. These niggas can't do nothing for me. I don't need them. So I'm not pressed to go there, but I am in the company of somebody who wants to go. So I was like, all right, we can go. We're waiting in line outside in the cold, in heels. Just and I got a glimpse of Chris Brown walking into the club with his little entourage. And I almost like screamed at him, boo! Boo! Chris Brown, you don't look that good in person. You don't even look good in TV. But okay, you can dance though. I'll give you that much. You can dance. I still don't forgive you for what you did to Rihanna, even though she forgave you. I don't know what you did to Karuchi, but it was probably some fuck shit. I don't forgive you for that either. I'm gonna. I don't forgive you. Okay. And yeah. So I didn't do any of that. Thankfully. I don't want to. So we're waiting out to get in, and the club is so exclusive. Oh my god, we have Chris Brown here, the Chris Brown. Um, and it's a whole line of people waiting outside. They're not letting people in, honey. You ain't the plug, sis. Let's go somewhere else. I'm too old. I'm 29. I turned 29 2 days ago. Okay, you 25. Your 25-year-old ass can sit here in the cold. She's like, I'm from Michigan. This is normal. We just like put on our freaking sweaters and just, hoes don't get cold. She's sitting out here like, hoes don't get cold. We just here in our stilettos and our like somewhat, you know, and our jumpers. We don't get cold. And we just wait out in the snow. This is what we do in Michigan. I'm like, let's just go to the pub around the corner or any other place in this whole city except here because they're not letting people in. And why would we want to stand out here? For what? They're not letting people in. You not the plug, sis. You ain't nobody. Okay, you ain't out here with the BBL. You ain't got no BBL. Them niggas want a BBL chick. They want the Miami chicks, the Dominican Republic chicks. You ain't it, sis. Let's go to the pub. No, I want to wait out here. I was like, all right, all right. So I mean, I'm just mingling and talking to people, walking around and stuff like that. It didn't mean no thing to me. But like 2 hours later, an hour later, 2 hours later, we weren't able to get in the club. And we got in a taxi and went back to Brixton. And then she gets her stuff and leaves. Her one single AirPod in my room. And I'm like, Anyway, so we'll save that AirPod for later. There's something there's gonna be a significant thing about the AirPod. So, I don't know what day that was. It was like Monday. Wednesday, my good friend was coming from Germany. I was sick. Okay, of course, stood outside for 2 hours. So of course I got sick. I don't know, and I was in a crowd of people. I don't know if it's Omicron, Omarion, Lil Fizz. I don't know which member, but B2K it was, but it could have been anything. So coffee meets bagel. Daniel, like you back. Let's see, Daniel. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, Daniel. Okay, Daniel. Okay, Daniel. Anyway, um, so where was I? Wednesday, my friend was coming to visit. Not me. She was coming to see another for another reason, but we're gonna hang out a couple days while she was here. We hung out. We went to some restaurant. I'm drinking hot water and tea and mulled wine. And I got some what did I eat? Some soup at the restaurant. And I got some kind of fish, right? Like what I thought was gonna be a like a white buttery fish because it was like ocean trout. I don't know what that's supposed to look like, but when the fish came, it looked like um salmon. It was like pink. And I'm like, this is salmon. Is it? And and then the waitress was like, no, we don't have salmon. We just no, 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 we did not. This is it. I said, okay, I don't want this. I don't want it. So I took like 2 bites of it. Ooh, fast forward to a little bit later, I was like super gassy. I was like, what is going on? What is going on? When I went home, oh, I had to puke and puke and puke and puke and sick and sick. I was sick for a whole week, 7 days, 7 days of my whole trip, dead to the bed sick. Okay. This friend, when she went back to Germany on that next Monday, she tested positive for COVID-19. Um, I got to see first before I eat. I know that's right. Listen, I have been traumatized. I'm traumatized. Like I don't eat food anymore. I only eat food that my mama makes now. Or that I like I was like that before even, but like I don't know what was so bad about it. It was just didn't agree with me. I mean, but like I could not keep anything down. I could not keep anything down. I would take a sip of water, I had to puke. Like I had to keep like a bucket next to me. And I'm just like in my own delirium. I was like, I said, oh, okay, maybe like I just need 2 days because I had dinner plans for the Friday night. I was like, okay, so Thursday, the whole day and night. Friday, I'll stay in bed too. And then Friday night, I should be good. Nope. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I finally reemerged. And then my friend Zoe ended up giving me a COVID test, but I took that like a couple days after I'd already felt better, but it was negative. So I don't know if I had COVID or not, but I really don't think I did because I never had the exact symptoms. Like to me, it was food poisoning, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then probably some like version of a cold, but like, who knows? Maybe that whole week was a COVID week. I don't know. I never tested positive. And the girl who I went to the concert with, she tested positive, but she claims to have tested positive because she went out on Tuesday night. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Wednesday, I reemerged. So 1 week later, reemerged. Can't remember things that I did. Went to. I should look at a calendar. Let me look at a calendar because that makes. Uh, let's see. Okay, so the concert was on December 6th. Friend came December 8th. Got sick December 8th. 6 till December 15th. December 15th, I went to a museum. I wanted to go to because people ask me, "Oh, like, why did I stay so long in London, like, for a month?" And I was like, "Well, the original plan was to go to Paris. Me and my friend who was visiting from Germany, we were gonna go to Paris and do Amsterdam as well as Switzerland. But since not only COVID-19, but also the new variant, which like really things started to crack down like the day after I got there. I just decided to like stay in London and not be bothered because I was like, I'm not going to be spending my money on multiple COVID tests. Like, I don't know. And none of the information is like accurate. You know what I mean? Like, you need a COVID test to exit. You need a COVID test to enter. You need a COVID test to da da da, and another COVID like, I'm not gonna take 17 COVID tests. I'm not gonna do that. It's just too much. I will take the one COVID test that I needed to get into the country, into the UK, and then I'll take the one where I need to get into the United States. That's it. I'm not and then I took one in between because my friend gave me one. Um, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't under normal circumstances, like, yeah, you can easily bounce around Europe because, like, Amsterdam is so close. It's like a hop, skip, and a jump, as well as uh, Paris. So it was gonna be like based in London, like keep my big suitcase there, and then take little small trips, kind of the same way I did in Greece. Like my base was in Athens, and then I for $30 a night, and then I would do one night, maybe 2 nights, Santorini, Mykonos, other islands, stuff like that. So that was the plan. But Omicron, Omarion, Rasby, had other plans. Anyway, so okay, reemerged the 15th, went to a museum. I'm not a museum person. I was in there for like 5 minutes. I was like, let me go get me a drink or something. This is more right now. Like if you like going to a museum by myself, it's just like the only time I've ever had an enjoyable time at a museum was with my ex-boyfriend. That's it. Like that was he was a big museum buff. And he would take me to the museum, and we would just be museuming. You know, he liked showing me all the things and like, look at this, with his arms around me. Ah! Anyway, next. So then, on the 17th, I went to the afternoon tea on the bus. Ooh, child, that was ghetto. That was ghetto. Now, I'm gonna give you all the details about that. Pretty much, it looks cute. It looks cute, but that food wasn't fresh. That's my thing. It's like run by a bakery, and it's a cute idea, like a London bus, and they like set up your table, and then you drive around like downtown central London, and like music plays, and you have your different baked goods. But I'm like, this tastes like the day old bakery stuff. You know what I mean? Like when bakeries don't sell stuff, the day old stuff goes on. Like I'm like, no, that's trifling. This could have been so good, but it was just not. It's not. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do after high tea at the Ritz Carlton. It was all sold out. They didn't have any table. They didn't have any table because it was Christmas season. Um, I'm trying to see like what other things I did. I really don't remember. I don't remember. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Stale scone ghetto. It was ghetto. I was like, this, y'all need to do better. I was like, y'all really need to do better. Cause I feel like if you're a baker, like this reputation, I think like it's just what I can't stand about fucking social media is that everything is just so like smoke and mirrors. Everything is just like, oh, look at the gram, it's cute. Things look good, but no one tells you the truth. And I'm so down to tell y'all the truth of everything. It's just like I don't sit here. It's so hard for me to vlog because like you're in the middle of living life without having to be like, hey y'all, I'm living my life. You want to see my life being lived? If I had a camera person, I don't mind being like, this is stale. This is weak. Like really just being real about it. But like that's why I do these live streams, give you guys all the details. Okay, then what happened? I'm trying to remember. Like, Oh, I remember, did I already upload that? No, I didn't upload that yet. I have a whole queue. I have a whole queue of, when I went to the London Eye, so my friend Zoe, she's more of the plug if you ask me. She was like, I was like, "Zoe, what should I do today?" Because Zoe was sick. Everybody was sick. Like everybody, all of London was sick the last week I was there, pretty much. And anyway, the last couple days I was there, she's like, "Girl, go in front of the Morleys, get on the 59 bus, go to the Waterloo, go to South Bank, whatever, whatever. You know, I'm trying. Sometimes my British accent's really good, sometimes it's really bad. And go to this bougie restaurant called Skylon, which I went to. It was like really nice. I had some tea and some champagne. And then I went on the London Eye. Oh, I hated it. And I wanted to do like that Harry Potter Universal Studio thing, right? I was like, "Oh yeah, I can go to that." Where is that? That is way outside of London. I have no idea how to get over there. It was talking about a train and a plane and an automobile and a donkey and stuff like I was like, "I'm not doing all that." Like, if I was with somebody, I would probably do the trek, but by myself in this cold, no, 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 no. I just said, "Forget it." I'll just stay in London. Like, if I can't get there on the tube, mm-mm. No, it was like, you need to take a railway. You gotta take the tube to the railway to the this to the bus to the I was like, "No. No. Not for Harry Potter. I'm not it's not that deep. Like, I'm not that big of a Potterhead." Um, so I did the London Eye. I almost got vertigo in there. I hated it. I was like, "I wanna be off here." I explained that in the vlog. You'll see that in a couple days. And, let me think. What else happened? Christmas Eve, I got my okay, after the afternoon tea thing, after the afternoon tea on the 17th, I ended up going to London Bay's house. I just called him, like, and he lives in, Canary Wharf, so, like, overlooking the river in East London, and yeah, like, Zoe was like, she totally ships us, even though, like, no, he just his thing wasn't thinging. It wasn't giving what it's supposed to give. I don't know if I should like go into detail about it, like about sex capades, but I was just not impressed. And but he's sweet. That's it. I'm like, oh, he's sweet. Like I usually like look past guys who can't perform because I think like majority of them can't, and I'm kind of just like, I just don't want to have to train you. And I'm like, I'm only here for a couple days. You have a nice apartment, so we watch these shows and movies and cuddle. That's fine. Just okay. Okay, so oh, and remember I told you about the AirPods. So homegirl had gotten sick after the Tory Lanez concert on the 8th. You got to quarantine for 10 days or self isolate, whatever. And then she was like, "Oh, we can meet on Thursday." Thursday is 2 nights before I'm leaving, right? Which was a week ago. And she was like, "Okay, I work till 7 and then we can go like have dinner. Is there anything you want?" Right. So she's been living in London for like 6 months. So, and she be thinking she's the London plug. She is not the London plug. That's what I gathered. I'm like, she her girl ain't the London plug, ain't the plug. So she was like, early in the day, she said to me, like, "Oh, how's TGI Friday sound?" She's like, "I know it's American, LOL," but and I said, "It's a no for me. It's a total no for me. Mm-mm. I'm not doing no damn TGI Fridays. I'm not gonna like." She was like, "Oh, you can come all the way to like the mall that like I work at, and then bring the AirPod, and then we can go to TGI Fridays." I was like, That's a nah. That's name. That's not happening. I don't want to do that. I don't. First of all, I don't do malls at all. Second of all, I don't do franchise freaking restaurant American restaurants. I don't do that. I don't do Cheesecake Factory. I don't do Applebee's. I don't do TGI Fridays. I don't do Macaroni Grill. I don't do it. I don't do Olive Garden. I don't do Sizzlers. Like I don't do it. Like I don't do it. We are in London. why would you even propose that? I said, 'Cause so I said straight up, I said, "No for me." And she didn't respond for a while because she was at work, and I hate people being like, "I couldn't respond, I was at work." He said, "Now I love cheesecake." Well, you can love cheesecake, but you didn't say you love the Cheesecake Factory. You gonna go so you telling me you gonna go all the way to London. They have TGI Fridays in Shanghai. You can go all the way to one of the biggest cities in the world with world-renowned bars and restaurants, and your ass is gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory on one of your last nights? I need you to get yourself together. I need you to help you. I need you know. So it's about 2 p.m. and I said to her, I said, no, for me, I don't want to do that. It's not happening. She was like, oh, I haven't what happened? So I said no, so no for me. She didn't respond promptly enough. So I just looked up speed dating, and speed dating had an because I was like, oh, I remember they have another thing tonight on the 23rd. So I booked the speed dating and I texted her. I said, hey, I okay, let me read you the messages on WhatsApp. Let me see. Let me see. It's not me. Mm. Oh, so okay, girl. Oh, it's showing in the wrong time zone. But when she said like, okay. So I am not interested in TGI Fridays. I wouldn't even eat there in America. Like, no. But we can meet in the mall or whatever and find something else. So when I sent her that, she said to me, "Oh," she said, I'm at work. I can't listen. I'm off at 7. And then I wrote back to her. I said, TGI Fridays is a definite no for me. And then about 30 minutes later, or no, an hour later, I texted her back saying, hey, I know it's last minute, but I decided to go speed dating tonight in Islington instead. Then she'll message me 2 hours after that talking about, girl, WTF, LOL. One, you're leaving. Why are you trying to make connections now? Two, how am I going to get my AirPods? LOL. I said to her, you tell me how you're going to get your AirPods. LOL. Your AirPod. One AirPod, not two. It was one. Why wouldn't you, like, you couldn't have put that in your purse? You had to leave that on my freaking counter because if you didn't leave your AirPod, you wouldn't be pressed to be meeting with me. You know what I mean? Like, so you basically telling me I gotta go on my last night. I gotta go all the way to East London to go to TGI Fridays to bring you your AirPod that you forgot irresponsibly. No, ma'am. I'm going speed dating. I don't know how you gonna get your AirPod. Girl, it's the day before Christmas. You better put that on your Christmas list and hope Santa Claus bring you another one. Because if you depending on me to get your AirPod, oh, you got another thing coming. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. Can't help you. And she goes, "Wait a minute. We were supposed to meet. Now you're going elsewhere." I said, "Yeah, I know, but I don't want to do TGIF, okay? I'm I'm not." And I said, "I'm not trying to give you your wait. Why is this so messed up?" Um okay, so she said, "Now you're going elsewhere." I said, "Yeah, I know, but I don't want to do TGI Fridays. She's supposed to come back to you for her airport." Thank you. Exactly. I'm like, I've been here 3 whole weeks. The uh the Tory Lanez concert was on the 6th. It's the 24th or it's the 23rd. How many days is that? You could have come here. You talking about you had COVID, girl. Well, get your butt on the bus, put your mask on. I'll leave it out in an envelope outside. You be good. It's fine. It's fine. But you're gonna tell me on my last day, talking about your AirPod. All that time you ain't mentioned nothing about your AirPod before. Now you want to get your AirPod. You better I don't know. Exactly. She's supposed to come back to her. Thank you. Thank you. So I said, I'm not trying to give you your AirPod, but I had to make other plans. I had to make other plans. So you tell me how you gonna get your AirPod? Question mark. She said TGI was a suggestion of a place to eat because I asked you said anything. And I was like, anyway, TGI on your last night, she straight up bumped her head. I swear on my life. I was like, so I went to at 10, but I work at 9 tomorrow for 19 hours. Okay, I don't know, whatever. So I went to the speed dating, right? And then I got there, mind you, don't use Google Maps in in London. She lied. They say use City Mapper. City Mapper's fine. I don't really care, but like I just kind of default use Google Maps. And it was like, oh, 13-minute walk from the tube station. I hate London. Like I don't like navigating London streets and trying to find like things. Cause like, okay, if you've ever been to London, and I was trying to say this to Zoe, Zoe was like, "That's not true," and I don't agree with you. I'm like, it's because you're from here. But streets turn into multiple streets, and they like, uh, uh, they become confusing. And then also, it's like, where do y'all post the name of the street? That's another thing that was pissing me off. I'm like, what the fuck? What street am I on? I gotta go all the way over there to the corner, and then it turns into the street. Okay, if you're if and also like once when I went to that afternoon tea and I had gotten in a taxi, he was like, because I don't like to look for places, right? And like I'm over here trying to like, which way does it want me to go? I'm confused. Reroute, recenter, and it's still I hate it. So I just get into like I get to the nearest metro point, and then I'll get like a Uber or a taxi. Anyway, I got a taxi once, and a lot of those old historic buildings on top of exactly. It's just all a maze. And then so I got a taxi after I got like when I was looking for the afternoon tea because I was like, I'm not gonna be walking around looking all dumb because I don't get where I'm going. And so when I got in a taxi, the taxi driver was like, yeah, I feel it because he's like, I see people stay getting lost due to Google Maps. He's like, I think it's worth it anyway. Look how long we've been in the taxi. We've been in here for 5 minutes. So like imagine you walking. I was like, thank you. Thank you. Why is it saying like an 8-minute walk when it's a 5-minute drive? Like that. So when I got to the tube station to go to the speed dating, I was walking around maybe like for 10 minutes. I said, I can't. And it starts in like 15 minutes. Let me just get an Uber. Got an Uber. We were in the Uber for over 5 minutes, 8 minutes. And I was driving. I was like, where is this a 13-minute walk? Where? Even though like it's been established that I walk slow. Okay. Pretty much I was noticing that like every time I walk, Londoners just passed me by. And I said to London Bay once we were on the phone, I was like, do I walk slow? Londoners stay like passing me by. And he was like, oh, I can attest to that. Like, and I was like, I walk slow. I don't know. I don't even be walking, to be honest. So I'm not surprised. I think I walk brisk. Okay, how about that? And so Uber to the place, get to the place. It's awkward. Like there's no orientation. There's no like, is this the speed? It's the right place. It's called the Bull. I'm here. And then there's like a bartender and there's guys all around the bar. And I'm like, okay, they don't look, and then there's people eating at tables, like it's a restaurant, bar restaurant. I'm like, maybe because last time it was like really obvious, like, but it was at a different venue, like the other speed dating. And it was like the guy was like, oh, are you here for the speed dating? Or can I like, or there's a host when you walk in, who's like, oh, you're here for the speed dating, right over there, right that way. Oh, you're here to patron our restaurant. Let me give you a seat or something. So I'm just walking in there like, what is going on? So then I wait for everyone to finish taking their freaking order, and the bartender is moving at a glacial pace, like he's moving in slow motion. I'm like, oh my god, am I like on LSD or something? Like, why are you moving so freaking slow? Like pouring like this. I'm not even kidding. He was just kind of like the sloth on Zootopia. I was pissed. I was like, okay, finally you're finished pouring things. Now can I ask you a damn question? Like, where's the speed dating? And he goes, "Oh, it's canceled." I'm like, "What? Is the speed dating here?" "Oh, it's supposed to be here, but it's canceled." I'm like, "Why?" "Because of COVID." I'm like, "Y'all on this fucking coach." And then I said, "Okay, I'm just gonna get a drink." Because I'm like, now I gotta figure out something else to do. Now I gotta go call up homegirl and be like, "Okay, girl, I guess we're gonna have to go to TGI Fridays, and I'm not gonna eat freaking shit on my last night. No, we're going somewhere." so I order a martini, and he's like, "Oh, we can't make that." Like, you have a fully stocked bar. What are you talking about? You can't make that. Oh, we can only make these drinks on this menu. Why you have espresso martini on there? Fine, give me a goddamn espresso martini. Why can you can make an espresso martini, but you can't make a martini without the espresso? What? Okay, I'm tired. Just get on my nerves. Oh my god, just give me the damn drink. Took him 45 minutes to make the drink. No, it didn't. It took felt like it. Lord have mercy. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna breathe. I'm just gonna breathe because I'm not gonna cuss you out. I'm not gonna do it. So then I like call what's her name? I call Zoe, and Zoe was like, "Why don't you go to this da-da-da thing?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't want to go to TGI Fridays." And I call the girl, and she's like, "Oh, I know this other place we can go. It's really cute, and it is really cute. It was really cute. Let me show you it." But what was it called? I think it was called Pink something. Pink Pink Lemonade. What an adorable spot to be. Isn't this adorable? And then she's like, "Yeah, and it's near me or whatever. I can be there super soon, super quick." And then when I looked it up on City Mapper, it was just like a hop, skip, and jump from where I was. So I was like, "All right, we can meet there." I get there, and there's nobody in there. There's no one in there. And I was like, "Okay, like, look at this type of stuff. It was cute." And the guy, I sit down, and that's what I'm telling you. This girl, AirPod girl, was not the plug. She didn't know shit. She didn't know nothing. Like, girl, you supposed to. I'm trying to like turn up or whatever. You know what? I'm not turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. But at least like go somewhere where it's like y'all know what I'm saying. Something sophisticated. Something like if this were the case, I would just stayed in Brixton. I mean, at least Brixton, you could just stumble upon a bar or a pub or something. Yeah, like where are the places to like just stumble upon that aren't TGI Fridays? And so then she comes, it's like randomly Japanese. Oh, oh, no alcohol. And I'm like, and it says here on Instagram too, it says strictly no alcohol allowed, right? But I'm over here like, oh, maybe that's some kind of London slang. Maybe it's like a speakeasy. Like I don't no alcohol. And they had all these, like, pictures of drinks. So I just thought, like, "Oh, that's just what it's just you know what I mean? No alcohol?" Like, something like I don't know. I don't know. And, yeah, no, the guy told him, "No, no, no, no alcohol. It's all just mocktails." I'm like, "Mocktails? For what? Why? Oh, okay, I respect it." But when she came, like, 5 minutes later, I was like, "There's no alcohol." And she was like, "What?" And I was like it's like, "This is the place you chose. Do you I've never been here before, but it's so cute. It's got pink. It's pink." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's just why don't we just have a mocktail and some dinner, and then we go to the next spot, which should be better than here, you know?" Then homeboy says, "We we only take cash." And I'm like, he's like, our machine is broken." I said, "Well, I gotta go. I don't do cash." The whole time in London, I do it in my phone. Every single time I did a transaction. The only time I withdrew British pound out of the ATM was when I was at the airport because I didn't know how it was gonna be, whether or not you need cash or not. So I made sure to have at least something. And I still have pretty much all I think I withdrew like 200 pounds, and I think I ended up still having like uh 40 or 50 left at least, like, and I think I only used cash like rarely. I paid homegirl for the Tory Lanez ticket in cash to go into the open mics those 2 or 3 times that I went. that was in cash. It was like 8 pounds each or something like that. Like, so, like, I really don't use any of the cash. So when he was like, "Oh, it's cash only," I was like, "Then that's our cue to go." Like, "Look, I can handle the no alcohol, but, like, you got no credit, no cards? Mm-mm, I'm not going to an ATM for you and for this. It's empty anyway. Bye." So then we walked down the street, and it was a pub that randomly had Thai food. So we sat there and talked, had some cocktails. I had a good time, you know. I'm a cocktail and talker type of person, so that was fine with me. And then she was like, "I think I got it's 11 o'clock now. I have to go because I gotta work early." And then I was like, "All right, well, let me just get back on the tube and go back to Brixton for my last second to last night." And then the next day, which was Christmas Eve, I had to go get a COVID test, PCR test. Thankfully, I found one in Brixton, which was all good. It cost me £100. And then Zoe and I met up and we had a really good time. Like we went to she took me to Chinatown and the food was like I was looking at that. I was like, you know, I'm like coming back from like food poisoning. So like I barely ate in London, honestly. I think I had like 3 or 4. No, I would order stuff actually. Deliveroo is what they use. um anyway, on the China when we went to Chinatown, and that I should have taken a picture of it, but I was just so appalled. I was like, "Why does this?" Because all I wanted was dumplings. Like, I was like, "Oh, I would love like, it's raining." Oh, and I bought an umbrella the first night that I was there, or the first day I was there, and because it rains a lot, right? And it did not rain the whole time, and I even said to myself, I was like, "Oh my god, you don't even get a chance to use your umbrella." Little umbrella you bought, because I bought it from H&M, and M, and it was, like, this big. It was this tiny little umbrella that you can fit in your purse. And I said that, and then boom, on my last night, it rained cats and dogs. And, yeah, so, of course. Anyway, I was like, all I like, the perfect rain weather food would be some, like, 东北水饺, you know, like some northeastern Chinese water dumplings? I wonder how do we translate that? I think they just say dumpling, but, like, it's a specific type of dumpling. I wanted that. So I asked them in Chinese, I was like, "Do you guys have shui jiao?" You know, they were like, "Oh, we don't have shui jiao, but we have something boiled dumplings." That's what they say. "We have something similar, this, that." And I was like, "Okay, let's get that." Why was it like the rim looked burnt? I'm like, "What? What is that?" He gonna say, "Oh, it's from the sauce." No, 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 that don't look like no sauce to me. That looks burnt. That does not look normal. I should have taken a picture of it. And I just was like, "No, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that. No, no, I don't trust that. I'm just you don't like the food?" I was like and she was like, "This is my favorite Chinese restaurant. This is the best Chinese restaurant in anyway, I'm like, "Girl, let's see a Chinese restaurant in London and what they have to offer." I'm gonna have to like I don't do my research. That's my problem. I should do my research before I go places, but I don't. I usually like, have to learn things the hard way or just kind of figure it out as I go along. Shame on me. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I've learned. But like then we went to a place to have like afternoon tea or like chai lattes at like 10 o'clock. And there, you know, we're just talking. And she and I had just we would often meet for tea. She lived in Brixton as well, like literally like 2 blocks from me. So we met up a lot. But we would have met up more if she wasn't sick. Like we all got sick, but she was sick with some kind of like intestinal thing. So she was like just barely could eat for 3 or 4 weeks. So it was a mess. But I think like on that last day I was there, she was like, "Oh, I can nibble things, you know, like I'm kind of feeling a lot better." I went to the doctor, they diagnosed me, gave me some medication, so I'm feeling a lot better, but like I'm still like reluctant to eat. So anyway, we went and had tea. And while we had tea, she says to me, I'm talking and whatever. She was like, "Have you ever considered doing stand-up comedy? You're like the real life Mrs. Maisel." And she's like, I I was thanking my friend for recommending me recommending it to me because like I binged the whole show a couple weeks ago and I texted her like, "Oh my god, girl, thank you so much for recommending me this show. I love it so much." And her friend texts back like, "What show? I don't know that show." And she's like, "I texted another friend like da, da, da." So I can't she was like, "For the life of me, I cannot remember who recommended that show to me." I was like, "I recommended that show to you. I recommended that show to you." It was the first time we met. We went to the open mic, in Shoreditch at Troy Bar, and I said to you that this reminds me of Mrs. Maisel. And you were and I can't believe you went back and watched it. And she was like, "Yes, I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait for the 4th season either. Oh my god, it's my favorite show ever." And she was like, "But you're like the real life Mrs. Maisel. Like I can see it. I see like, the way you dress. I mean, your story's a little bit different, of course, but like the way you speak, you're very much like in that vintage style thing, but you got like the mouth of a sailor, and it's you. You should totally try to do stand up." And I'm like, you're not the first person to tell me this, but really? She's like, yeah, you should go to an open mic and just do it. And I was like, ever since that was Christmas Eve. I was like, wow. And I said, I can't remember who else had told me this, but I know my dad has told me that. And so I was texting a friend and I said, "Oh, this girl that I met here in London and have become really good friends with, she told me this." And that friend was like, "I told you that years ago." I'm like, "Oh, she did the same thing to me." And I'm like, "Y'all, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start doing stand-up comedy." And I've always been like the funny one in the group, like able to make people laugh, but I don't try to make people laugh. I just talk. So I always thought stand-up comedy was like you are going with the intention of trying to make people laugh. Like you have to like set up jokes and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't really and I think that if I practice, so since then, that was on Christmas Eve. It's only the 30th now. It's been about a week. I have written so many things. Let me just show you guys. I'm just in my notes. Let me go. Let me see. Let me see. Where is it? Like, so I was like going back and watching some like comedy specials and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so they basically are just telling stories, but each story transitions into another. And so I was watching Jimmy O Young. Um, I think his comedy special, I think it's on not HBO. What is it called? Amazon. And and it gave me like so many ideas. Like I'm telling you, look at this. Look, okay, okay. I'm not gonna show like look at okay. And I've just been writing stuff ever since. And I even tried to write something in Chinese. And like when I sit here and talk to myself and do the riff in Chinese, it works. But when I went to write it down, I was like, oh, it's just tongue tied and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's something that I'm gonna be pursuing this year. And that was pretty much let's talk about actually traveling home. So I was so stressed. Like this is why I'm not trying to travel anymore. Not anymore ever, but like anymore during the COVID because it's stressful. Like if I gotten a positive test, I'd have to stay for another um 10 days. Ugh, thankfully it was negative. So the test people, mind you, when I bought the test online, I fill out my name, I fill out my passport number, blah, blah, blah. When I went to actually do the test, they gave me a form where I filled out my name, filled out my passport number, expiration date, etc. correctly, did my test. It was supposed to be a fit to fly PCR test, same day test. And they were like, okay, all good. Pretty much I went into this little room with the girl there. She was like so unbothered. She probably does like 300 of these a day. She just handed me a Q-tip or whatever and was like, swirl it in your nose for 30 seconds. And do it as high as you can without the least resistance. Because I was saying, like, these COVID tests are so inaccurate because everyone claims you have to, like, go all the way up here. I can't do that. I can't do that. I always just be like, "Screw, screw, 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 screw." That's gotta be enough, right? But so, like, are you just getting a bunch of false negatives? Like, I don't know. Because when I took a COVID test to enter London, you have to take one, or enter the UK, you have to take one 2 days after you get in. And, I was the my roommate, he was like, "Oh, yeah, you have to call the lamp," and I'm like, "I'm not doing all that. I'm just gonna" and it was negative, so, I mean, hey, I got the result I need. Take a picture of it, send it to the thing that they talk about with your passport with it. It's so stupid. The whole system is just it's a racket. It's a total racket. It's a total fucking racket. It's some cartel shit. Anyways, so I'm sitting in the room and it's like a long Q-tip, and she's like, "Just go in there with the least amount of resistance." I was like, "Okay." And I'm sitting next to her and doing it, and she's like not even looking at me. She's like on her computer. I'm like, "Girl, I'm not counting. Has it been 30 seconds yet?" She's like, "Yeah, a little bit longer." Okay, just swirling, 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 swirling. Okay, that's good. Put it in here. Okay. Midnight, I get my results and they put the freaking name wrong. I'm like, why would y'all put Fox when I didn't put Fox on there? I put my name, how it shows on my passport. How did y'all get Fox? I don't know. I think they got it because I had to make a little profile and maybe it autofilled to Fox, but I don't care how my profile name was. When I put on passenger information, I put the name as it shows on my passport online as well as on the form. My God, so why would and I was like in the morning, I was so flipping stressed out, like driving to the airport. So my flight was at like 2 o'clock PM. I left the freaking I was like, I'm the type of person, like, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna show it up to the airport at like 9:30 because so I left the actual Airbnb at 9:30 and thankfully I did because I'm like, I know there's gonna be some kind of BS. I know it. And I flew SAS, which is a Scandinavian airline. And I'm like, I know they're gonna make a fucking deal out of this damn COVID. I know they are. I know they are. They're gonna make a deal out of it. They're going to. So what do I do? It's mind you, it's Christmas Day. Not that it felt like it. The fucking airport was packed. I was like, what is it gonna be a ghost town? Opposite. It was people on people on people on people. It was no, ain't nobody's Christmas. Ain't no Christmas. So so luckily I go and email the company where I bought my flight, or not my flight, bought the COVID test. I was like, "Hi, um, right when I enter, and like the SAS check-in desk was not open yet because I got there by like 10 o'clock, and I think they were me opening at like 10:30, 11. Um, and so I emailed them, went to check in. The girl kind of gave me hell. Like she was like, but the thing is, every single person, it was like 3 or 4 people ahead of me. Each and every person had some kind of discrepancy with the COVID test to enter the country. So I was flying from London to Stockholm, Sweden to Copenhagen, Denmark to San Francisco, California, United States of America. So that's 4 countries. Tiana! And all the information it's outdated, it changes day by day. There's a new variant yesterday, and tomorrow there's gonna be a new variant, which means new rules and new this and new that. So, I was told that I had to have a PCR test a day before, 24 hours, and I was like, "Okay, well, is that 24 hours?" by arrival? What about my stopovers? Does that count within the 24 hours? And da, da, da. Like it's just all this. So I was just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna get the PCR test the day before, which thankfully, like with COVID, like things are open, like COVID testing and stuff like that. It's like every day. Like they don't do holidays. You know what I mean? In London, they even close the metro on Christmas and public transportation. When my friend told me that, I was like, that's weird. Why? Public transportation is public. Holidays, I mean, yeah, you have a public holiday, but like, don't people have to get places on Christmas? Like, I don't think they should run as frequent, but they should run. Like, she's like, oh, do the buses and stuff run in San Francisco? Hell yeah. They run 365 days a year. Same as Shanghai. I feel like, yeah, they run every day. Maybe on a holiday, it might be less frequent. Like maybe instead of waiting 10 minutes, you wait 25. I don't know. But they're never just all close. She's like, no, if you want to get somewhere on Christmas, you have to take a taxi. Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, I'm like, luckily the thing was open on Christmas Eve. That I told you guys about. So then get into the line, like I told you, the guy in front of me was like, "No, it said as of yesterday, the 24th, or blah blah blah. You only need a blah 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 type of test. You need an antigen test." Nah, 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 nah." Push back, push back, push back, push back, push back. Everybody's like, "See, I printed out the email. I have a screenshot. I'm telling you, the government website says this." Blah, 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 blah. Next person, same thing. "Ooh, I can attest. The government website says this. No, it does." I'm like, God damn. And I'm over here. I call my dad and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because I know she's gonna give me some kind of like, oh, I can't stay here. I need to go home. Like I'm ready to go home. I've been ready. I stay ready. I've been ready to go home. And so get in line. I show my my test, show my passport. Sis is matching them because I was over here like, oh, maybe I should Photoshop it, right? I was like, or not Photoshop. I'm in a PDF. Like I can easily like open it as a PDF and then just like put the thing over it and then put the name on it in the same font. But I'm like, but it has a QR code. Like, what if they scan the QR code? You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not trying to like get nicked for fraud or anything like that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. And so it was so funny. So she was like, why aren't the last names the same? Like, who's Fox? Who's that? I was like, that's me. That's my married name. But I just got married like a month ago or 2 months ago, and like I haven't been able to update my passport yet. Actually, like I had a screenshot of like, look, this is what I purchased with the name Burrows on there, not the name Fox. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know why they put that on there. I think it's because the card that I use is Kiara Fox. Blah 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 blah. I think that's where they got it from, even though they got it from my profile, whatever. She was like somewhat nice, but she was kind of stern, and she was just kind of like, he called her manager because I convinced her and I showed her my card that says Kiara Fox and I have one on there, even though that's not the card that I used to make the purchase. But like she don't know that. She wasn't looking at the numbers all that deeply. Like I'm like, sis, sis, sis. So then she like calls her manager and was like, yeah, it's it's the same name, just a different last name. She says this and that and this. Do you have your marriage license with you? I'm like, no. Can you prove that your husband's last name is Fox? And I'm like, F. I mean, usually you can finesse stuff like that, but I literally cut off every Fox that I know in my life, like every male Fox. Talking about all my family on my Fox side of the family, cut all them MFers off like a month ago. So I don't have any way to finesse it. Okay, I can't be like call my only cousin I know, only cousin that I know. No, I have one cousin who's not in jail, but I have another cousin, Brian Fox, in prison. Then I have a cousin, Eric Fox. I don't talk to him, you know what I mean? So I'm like what was I supposed to do? Not only that, it was 2 in the morning out in America or in San Francisco. So I was kind of like, And I'm frazzled. I'm frazzled. And she's kind of like, okay, do you have the attestation form? The CDC attestation, do you have this? I was like, no, I don't have that. And she was like, see, you don't even have the forms. Go. And I was, my dad was like, just be cool, calm, collected, be kind, be kind. I was trying to be like, oh yeah, yeah, I understand, I understand. I'm trying, you know what I mean? Like de-escalate. The last thing you want to do is piss people off. You know, you want to kind of like, I was like, yeah, I understand. Okay, okay. So how about I just go fill it out and like, um, she's like, okay, you have time. You know, I said, well, what time is the boarding? She's like, oh yeah, we'll board until two, like an hour before or something like we check in until an hour before or something like that. So I took all my stuff and went to this like down the corridor, which was like there was a Costa Coffee right there, and it was packed, packed. And and I'm sitting there like, okay, let me try to look up this CDC form. Oh my God, CDC attestation. What is this? Like entry, blah, 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 blah. Like I'm like this on my computer. And my computer is a flipping piece of crap. Like I need a new one. Because sometimes it'll just shut off. And yeah, of course it did that in that moment. Of course, of course. Like if it just shut off right now, I kind of would be okay with that. Only because like this is not a stressful situation. But in the stressful situation, when I need it, it's like, mm-mm. so so I plugged the computer in, thankfully it turned back on. The stress of it all. Oh my god. So then um I do my PDF. Oh, and luckily, luckily, the company, the PCR, the home to lab test company messaged me back and they said, "Oh, okay, just tell us the order number, the correct name, this and that and this." And then I did, and then like in her excuse me, in her email, there was a contact number. So I called the number and the guy was like, oh, yeah, the case is already open by my colleagues. So how about you call back in like 15 or 20 minutes? And we should be able, we just sent it over to the lab and I'm filling out the attestation form on a PDF because I was like, "Oh, I can get this on my phone," but I'm like, how do you edit a PDF on your phone? I don't know how to do that." So I had to go get the computer and go to the Costa Coffee, and I kinda pushed this girl out the way. I'm sorry, girl. If you're out there listening, he was really nice. I'm so sorry. I was just kinda like I was panicking. I was panicking. I needed the plug. And then, what happened, 20 minutes later, thankfully, they sent me the right form with the right name. Whew, and I filled out the freaking CDC attestation form. Okay. Went back to homegirl. Homegirl was like, "I was looking for you. I went to the testing center. I went to the," and I was like, "Oh, I just went to the Costa Coffee, but it's okay now. I got the company to change the name or to fix the mistake." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so happy for her because I'm just," and I was like, "Oh, you've been so nice. You've been so kind. Thank you for all your help." And she wasn't that kind, but she was sweet. She was sweet, but she was stressful. Like I don't really, I try not to blame people doing their job on, you know what I mean? Because like I get it. I get it. It's not her, so I just try not to take things out on people. So I didn't. I was like really like, it's gonna be okay. It's just because luckily them people responded because I would have been like it would have been a mess. So and she was like, okay, let me help you check in your bag. Okay, I'm gonna get your bags all the way to San Francisco and da, 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 and da, 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 da. I was like, oh, you've been so great. And I saw her name. And it was Fiona. I was like, oh, Fiona, like I would love to buy you a coffee, Mary, like for Christmas or something. I can go right over there. Tell me if there's anything you want. She's like, oh no, 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 no. I can't. We have everything we need here. I was like, are you sure? Get you a cake or something, whatever you need, blah blah blah. Because you've been such a help, such a joy. Anyways, oh, when I got in there, I was like, oh, hallelujah. In, I'm in, I'm in. And then I went to go sit at a restaurant, and the restaurant was like, we're closed, or not, we're closed. That's too many people. I'm like, dang, why is there so many people here? And then London Bay called me, Merry Christmas, and telling me all about, da 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 da. We talked for a little bit. Then I went to the bookstore and bought three books, which I have Pretty much devoured the first 2, um, and great books. And then what happened? Then, um, flew to Copenhagen, which was like a 2-hour flight, so the flight landed at, like, 5:30 PM, Christmas night, and then, got a hotel room in the airport because I was like, "Can I leave?" Because in normal circumstances, like, from the airport in Stockholm, it's easy to get to the I guess, city center of Stockholm, but, like, first of all, it's Christmas Day, and, like, Scandinavian countries are really big Christmas people, they close everything on Christmas. So and not only that, but I was like, I don't know if I can leave the airport, and then, like, that invalidates my COVID test, like, I don't know. So I just said, "Okay, I'm just gonna stay in the airport and get a hotel," and I stayed at the Radisson Inn, or no, Radisson Blue in the airport. It was a decent hotel, and mind you, I had to smoke cigarettes, like, I was like a chimney out in London. I really was, like, I haven't smoked since I've been back or since that night. And I don't really smoke anymore, but, like, if I'm on vacation shame on me. But anyway, so I went this to the bar restaurant out right outside of the hotel, and, that's where I got the deer burger and added foie gras on there. It was just was not giving what it was supposed to give. It just wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. I think it was a little bit dry, and then I got a beer, some kinda local beer. To me, beer is beer. Like, I don't like, I don't know, beer is beer. Is beer. And then, what else? Oh, and I got an Irish coffee, and I was just sitting there reading my book, and there was this cute guy across from me, and I'm like, "What? Why wouldn't you hit on me?" I'm just kidding. It was like he's at his table, I'm facing this way, and he's at his table facing like, so we're facing each other, but we're at different tables. And I'm just sitting here reading, being the brainiac, being the cute little single brainiac that I am. Anyways, he didn't, like, say anything. That's fine. That's fine. So, then I went to the smoking section, which is outside the airport, outside, like, downstairs, and I met this girl. It was so random. So, it's, like, in a small booth, like, almost like a not a phone booth, but, like, the size of what books, though? Come on now. Okay, book number 1, Brief Questions to the Big Answers by Stephen Hawking. And, this thing I haven't read the whole thing yet because I was like, "Oh, let me take a break from this and, like, start reading the other book," but, like, I read this in, like, 2 hours. I mean, it's that, like, it's one of those. So it asks questions like, "Is there a God? How did it all begin? Is there other intelligent life in the universe? Can we predict the future? What is inside a black hole? Is time travel possible? Will we survive on Earth? Should we colonize space? Will artificial intelligence outsmart us? How did we shape the future? Or how do we shape the future?" That one. And then the other one, which I'm currently reading, I'm probably going to just finish the whole thing. This one is Prisoners of Geography, 10 maps that tell you everything you need to know about global politics. Now, this thing, like, I'm over here, like, see, I need to have a pen while I read because I'm like, I'm always writing stuff in the book. And each chapter focuses on a different region or a different country. So, like, chapter 1 was Russia, chapter 2 was China, 3 USA, 4 Western Europe, 5 Africa, 6 the Middle East, 7 India and Pakistan, 8 Korea and Japan, 9 Latin America, 10 the Arctic. So I feel like I'll finish this by the end of the week. I'm like, after we live stream, I'm about to go hit her up. And then the third one, still in my suitcase. It's something like global philosophy. It's like it's kind of the same style as that, and it goes through like each region of the world and what their philosophies are. You know what I mean? Like, that's like I love that type of stuff. So no, those are the nerd books I was reading. So anyway, went in to have a smoke break, and there was this girl. Oh, these two women talking Swedish, obviously. I don't know whatever they were speaking. And I'm over there and I heard "fuckta." Fuckta. So you guys know what fuck means. And then ta in Chinese, ta means him or her. So my brain is like, fuck ta. Fuck ta. Like, fuck him. And I kind of was just there and I said in my head, I said, well, I wonder what he did. And then so somehow I started talking to them and I was like, and I said to them, like, what he do, girl? Because and it turns out, so I'm thinking they're talking about men. Like, I don't know. I can't understand any Swedish, I don't speak Swedish. Um, and then so she was like, I kind of was like, I wonder if they're talking about for some reason she ended up explaining to me. She's like, oh, we're talking about like psychedelics. Psychedelics. And I was like, oh, okay. Her fuckta. She said fuckta. Fuckta, whatever means some kind of psychedelic. And the girl just got back to Sweden from Peru doing some like ayahuasca, stuff like that. I was like, what? So the other lady left. The other lady left. So I was just talking to this girl who's like 25, cute. She's Swedish, but is of Algerian descent. And we start talking and she's telling me about all these like things that that I'm all about, like the manifestation and the I've never tried mushrooms or anything like that or any kind of like psychedelic drugs, but because I'm totally afraid to do that. But but I like to hear about what its capabilities are. And so she was telling me all this stuff like that, and then we walked back up to the hotel or up to into the airport, and then I was kinda like, "Oh, so what are you about to do?" Because she said she was taking a bus to northern Sweden, to another part in Sweden, which was leaving in, like, an hour or 2. And she's like, "What are you about to" I was like, "What are you about to do?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sit around." I was like, "Oh, do you wanna come to my room? Like, you got 2 hours to kill. I'm not doing anything." It's, like, probably, like, 10 at this point. So she comes in my room, we have tea, we chat we chatted up, and, she was like, do you mind if I take a shower? Because I'm like, oh, she's like, I've been like, I don't know how long this is. I said, girl, go ahead. It's all you. So she took a shower. We talked. She went to go. It was fun. Like you just meet random people. I meet to have the most random interactions. She was telling me she's like a yoga instructor and she like lived in Costa Rica. And we both were saying like, okay, well, here's my WhatsApp, here's your WhatsApp. I wonder where we'll see each other next. I wonder like that's kind of how it is. It's like where you meet these people from a Swedish Algerian who just got back from Peru and loves Costa Rica, and then this like African American pseudo Chinese girl who just got back from London and is by way of Copenhagen, you know what I mean? This is why I need to go traveling full time, I swear. But like, please do it after freaking. I don't know what. Maybe you can just roll with the punches with the COVID stuff. Like, if you got the money for it, but like the COVID test I took cost £100. That's why I was like, I'm not doing that. But yeah, it's like you just have these kind of interactions. So she was like, I'm not big on social media. I don't really use that stuff anymore. But like, I have WhatsApp. I don't really use it either. I was like, all right, hey, hit me up. You got my WhatsApp. Like, what's up? I hope I'll see you on the flip side. Maybe you served your purpose for me. We talked all about our men's and our things and stuff like that. It was fun. It was like a good chat. So yeah. Then because see, this thing is like, I think I'm a low key genius because when I got to Copenhagen, because I was kind of like, not Copenhagen, Stockholm, I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I, because I was like, I need to get £100. Yes, yes, 100 pounds. No more. I don't want to travel anymore. So I was like, I'm not going anywhere because I don't want to give my money to COVID test. And wait, what was I gonna say? I was like, okay, so the flight is at 6 in the morning. The breakfast is at 4:30. Check-ins, not check-ins. Security usually takes this long and that long. I was trying to like finesse everything, and I was like, getting your boarding pass. I was like, maybe if I get my boarding pass now, Ovarian. What? Maybe if I get my boarding pass now, which was like, probably 6 p.m., I can I won't have to worry about that. I can still get the breakfast. I can still So when I went and got my boarding pass, the guy in the SAS, which is the airline, he was like, "Be here right there. You see right there. Be there at 4 a.m." And I was like, "Okay. Well, then I can't do the breakfast. The breakfast is at 4:30." So I went back to the hotel, got them to take my breakfast off. Mind you, I'm getting my hotel reimbursed because the airline freaking did all this stuff. Usually they will do that. So if you ever have these long, weird layovers, contact the airline and see if they'll reimburse you. 9 times out of 10, they will. So took the breakfast off. That's what. Then I went to the dinner, had the dinner with the deer burger, and then that's when I met the girl after in smoke section. And then when she left about 11 o'clock. Oh, Omicron. You mean Omarion? I can't believe people name that Omarion. Okay. And so then what happened? Got to the thing at 4. So I left because I'm like, I'm very anxious. So I didn't sleep in the hotel. I just laid down and um read. And I think I did a couple phone calls, but by the time like 3 o'clock hit, I was just kind of like, I gotta get out of here. I don't want to be in here anymore. I'm checking out, checked out, went to the thing, got to the terminal, like, or the security thing at like 3:30. It was packed, packed. And I'm like, good thing I got here when I did because the security was madness in Stockholm, Sweden. And going through the security, they make you take out your toiletries, even your travel size toiletries. I'm not stupid. Like I put my non-travel size or yeah, like my big toiletries, you put that in your check-in bag, but your small toiletries, like the travel size, you keep that in your carry-on and it's fine. Take out all your toiletries and put them in this little plastic bag. I'm like, y'all are wasting plastic bags. I don't know about freaking security. What do I know about that stuff? But I know that everywhere I've been a lot of places. I've never had to do that in Stockholm. I think y'all need to check on that because it seems like a waste. It seems like wasteful. Anyways, whatever. Got through the security, went and bought me some apple juice, sat down, tried to read, was sitting here like this, like a zombie. Got on the plane, slept for an hour. It was only an hour flight. And I said to myself, once we land, I'm like, I am going to freaking teleport to the SAS lounge in the Copenhagen airport because it was like a 5 hour layover. So luckily, walk through, SAS lounge is right there. Had to pay $40 to get in. All good. Homegirl, I said to her, like after I paid my money, I said, also, I need one of those resting rooms. And she was like, give me your boarding pass. Here you go. She gave me a key, went upstairs, lights off, slept. I kind of slept in and I was like in and out of Ream because you're anxious about okay, make sure because I was kind of telling myself that like my time the time on my phone hadn't adjusted even though it did. So I was just like wake up every hour and a half. You set a timer for an hour and a half and wake up and then see where you go from there. So anyways, I slept for a little bit. Oh my god, those beds were so comfortable. Like y'all need to do the airport lounges. I've never had an airport lounge before, and now I know better. I've learned better, and like that, like both ways. Like when I on my way there and on my way back, saved my life. And then on the flight, which was 11 hours, can you believe there had to be at least 10 kids on that freaking flight, or babies, toddlers, infants, newborns, children cheering. just crying. I don't think it's cute. I don't like kids, and I don't want kids, and if I thought I didn't want kids before, I triple, quadruple, omicron don't want them now because the way them kids cried the whole time, there was a kid, it was like they were taking turns. I swear to you. 11 hours, right? So then whatever. Landed, I'm happy. We landed. We landed. I did some sleeping, I did some reading, I watched Elf the last hour and a half on the flight. It goes by pretty fast, to be honest. It does. And then landed, got my bags, went through immigration, got my bags, not immigration, custom, whatever you call that. Homeland Security. I could have imagined, especially coming all the way from San Francisco to London. It was a trek. I haven't traveled like that in a long time. I haven't done it in a long time. But I've never done it during the pandemic. So every other time that I've done it, it's been like pleasant because like I would stop in Korea, I would stop in Japan, I would stop in some place, where you don't have to think about visas and PCR tests and stuff like that. Even though like I didn't have to think about a visa in Stockholm and Copenhagen and stuff like that. But like the testing for it's the testing for me. Anyway, made it home safe. Got in. My appetite has returned because my mama has been cooking and cooking and cooking and cooking and feeding me. And it's been lovely. And I don't think I'm leaving the house for a while. I'm traveled out, even though I might go to Mexico in March. And for now, I'm broke as a joke. I'm in recovery because like when you have a economic downturn, a recession. I'm in a recession right now. In total recession. I need to like rebuild the economy, cut spending. I treat myself like I'm a government. You know how like the governments they do those stimulus packages and they don't care if they have money or not. They like, no, just print some more. That's what I do. I just print some more. I don't care about my credit score. Like I'm gonna go and um apply for another credit card. If I get approved, hey. If I don't, whatever. Go apply for another one. I think my credit score might be shot, but like it might work. If an inquiry like is the most of my worries, I'm like, whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be all good. I'm gonna try to find me a job, a way to make some money, and I'll keep y'all posted. So anyway, I'm gonna go eat dinner now. Some real food. My mama's been cooking, cooking and cooking and cooking. And I was like, "What's wrong with my appetite?" Because one my friend Zoe was like, "You don't eat a lot." I'm like, "It's not that I don't eat a lot. I just don't like the food here, and it's not getting my life. And I got sick, and my stomach is not trying to have it." But like now, I know that I'm normal because here I've been eating. I've been eating. I'm like, "Oh, we all good." Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this last okay, good question. Did you like London overall? I freaking loved London. I loved it. London is totally a place I want to frequent. I loved it. Cannot say anything against it, to be honest. I feel like next time I go, I want it to be a little bit more upscale. Like I don't want to be staying in an Airbnb in Brixton. No shade. I want to be like, I want to be put up. Okay. I want to be put up. And I wanna go to, like, the Michelin restaurants and, like, go to the nowhere to go. So next time I go, I'll have more of a what's it called, but I don't regret anything on my trip. Like, I loved it. I had a great time. So I would say it was like a 8 out of 10, and it would have been more if we didn't have the pandemic. We didn't have her. If Omarion wasn't coming around, it'd have been better, but, like, I loved London. Loved it. Loved it. It was definitely my vibe. and I would totally go back. A lot of people ask me like, "Oh, would you relocate?" And I'm like, "Look, no, I'm not trying to relocate nowhere though, nowhere, because I don't like." It just made me appreciate my situation because it's great to not have to worry about rent. It's great to have food on the table, and I love like my sweet suburban life that I've been living for the last year in Sacramento with my dad. And I like frequent, I like it's just like I just made me really appreciate what I have right now and make me want to like kind of my friend called it like having roots and wings. So just now the London trip was like the wing part, you get to fly around, da, da, da. And I want to focus on the roots part. So I just need to like start making money because I'm like, if I start making, money, then then I can start like taking a little quick weekend trip to London. Even though from San Francisco, it's a little bit. I totally enjoyed this. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. So happy new year, everybody. Let's just hope 2022 is not as ghetto as 2021. I think it's going to be a good year. I don't know. I can't tell the future. But I 20 the twos are my favorite number. So two is my favorite number. So it's like a lot of twos, even though in Chinese, two mean dumb. When you're next there for real, we need to get turned, but in grandeur, 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 right? So that's why I need y'all to like join. We need to have like a Facebook group or something. I don't know. Y'all tell me what's the best, like Insta. I don't know. Y'all know how it is. I have so much more to say. I'm gonna go live again um when I'm in Sacramento. So that'll be next week. Next week. I'm gonna try to make it like a weekly thing. I like that word grandeur. Grandeur. So like one day we'll have a Paradise trip. I'm on Facebook with you, yeah, but I'm trying to see like I want to have a Facebook group so people can, you know, something. A Discord. I don't do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. To be continued. To be continued, y'all. If anything, y'all just shoot me a message on Instagram, DM on Instagram. Y'all know my what's it called? What's it called? My handle. Kiara Dice, if you don't know. Instagram.com/ oh yay. Woohoo. So hit me up on that and maybe you can make a group on that, right? Ugh. This is why look, there's so many moves, so much brewing right now. It's brewing. Not the hair in 2020. Remember, I think it was hair in 2021. Oh my God. How much has changed? Man, China is not open, friend. Friend, China is not open. She ain't open. She ain't opening no soon, okay? She ain't doing it. She has a zero COVID policy. My friend, Vessi, she's the Bulgarian girl. She married a diplomat and they were living in Indonesia, and now they recently, like within the last month, moved not back, moved to Beijing to work at the Beijing embassy, Bulgarian embassy in Beijing. And child, when she talks about what they had to go through to get up in there, I'm gonna have to message her after this and be like, "What you doing? Where you at? What you making?" She said like they had to, and she did like she's a diplomat, like it's like governmental, like official stuff. You know what I mean? And she had to like, they got picked up like, it's like, took forever for them to get a flight. The flights are super expensive and super competitive, and then, like, 2 or $3,000 one way, but she said I think she said her flight from Hong Kong had 2 people on it. Like, I don't know how much it cost. Like, I don't know. Random. Anyways, so she said when they got there, they were, like, picked up by people in hazmat suits, brought in a squad car, like a real squad car with like surrounding, like how like they do those presidential kind of stuff, those official, like you have one car's leading, the other car's on the side, and then the contraband is in the middle, that to bring them to whatever quarantine hotel, nothing goes in, nothing comes out. Well, of course, things go in, like they had to get food, but like everything that they like, it was just so regulated. She was like, they were not allowed to leave the room for 2 weeks at all. No, nope, not allowed to leave the room for 2 weeks. And then they were able to um move after the 2-week quarantine, like real quarantine, not how like all the other ghetto ass countries do it, where you just say, "Mm, yeah, just stay at home." But no one like regulates. Like this was regulated. She said they were not playing. And then I guess now she's like living at the Bulgarian embassy until they can find an apartment or something. I don't know. I think she so Hey in 2020 Hey tour. It might be a while. I think 2026. Let's just no, let's do a better year. Let's say 2023. I was hoping to go to China in 2022, but like that's just too like it's just it's way too ambitious. It's ambitious. I don't think they're gonna open it. We live in dystopia. I just want shui jiao, mala tofu in peace. No Marion or his little variant friends. I'm tired of little Fizz. I'm tired of little Fizz, right? We just want some mala tofu. Okay. We just want to go to what's that place called? This is where I want. This is where the uh oh. Okay, here we go. We just want to go here. Is that right? I think that's right. I don't know if that's the right characters. I think that's the right characters. We just want to go to Xinjiang Bana. That's part of my hearing tour. Remember, I had the whole tour, like the itinerary. Do y'all remember that? I had the whole tour ready. I mean, the timeline was a little effed, but like it was gonna be 12 days, Beijing, Duke, Shanghai, 12 days. Hey, and do it up in China tour. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, let's just try to be optimistic. He said we live in dystopia. Oh my god. Yeah, the Haran tour was we keep hope alive, okay? Keep hope alive, because the fact that I swear I can't believe we living in a pandemic. And it's like, y'all, if you haven't watched it, watch that movie Don't Look Up on Netflix because I'm tired. Like this is really what it is. Like where people, like how many people in London did I hear talk about, I'm not, oh, you're double jabbed. I'm not double jabbed. I'm not doing it. Ew, I'm not doing that. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder we're never going to get out of this. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. Everybody keeps talking about that movie. It was good. It was good. It was funny. It was true. Like if like, imagine if someone found out Panama pandemic. Imagine if everyone, like, no, not everyone. If one person found out, wow, the a meteor is about to hit Earth, and they try to tell people about it. Just saying. I just saw a little bit of it. I will watch the rest of it's nice. It's really funny. I think I want to watch it again. It was hilarious. And you just think about like it's basically just what we're going through right now, but just with a different situation, but the same thing. Where people just they just can't convince people anything, and like they literally make it political. They make it's all the same stuff. It's just how we're doomed. Okay, y'all, be safe. Happy New Year. Keep hope alive. One day we will go on the Hey in China tour. Don't know when, but we're keeping hope alive. We're keeping hope alive. Okay. In the meantime, hit me up on Instagram or add me on Facebook too, Kiara Foxboroughs. You can add me on that, and then I'll try to make a Facebook group. I have one actually, but yeah, 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 yeah. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Peace. Better days in 2022. Exactly. Better days. Better days. Listen to that Tupac song. Keep your head up, y'all. Okay, we gonna be all right. Okay, Kendrick Lamar told us we gonna be all right. Okay, I love y'all. Bye. End stream. How do I end it? Okay, bye.